Well, have we got a treat for you? And what we're doing is reminding ourselves of the great works in touching Toronto. And recently in a service, I just felt overwhelmed by the Lord at how much Toronto is in my heart. I live in Peterborough, but Toronto's in my heart. And I know we're going to be back there doing great things in that great city, and we're going to see great breakthroughs in so many areas. And again, we're just blessed that Pastor Billy comes and just strengthens us in Canada and Toronto. Now, recently I gave this testimony in our church service in Peterborough as an illustration of life, where I used, and we're going to see this testimony in just a second because this gentleman is a friend of mine in our church, and how that when COVID is happening, keep moving forward, keep moving forward. And then if something's in your way, the government puts another rule here, or something happens there, just jump over it. Just don't stop, just keep going. And in just a second, you're going to see an illustration of that in this testimony. Now, this beautiful miracle you're going to hear about, of course, happened in Toronto. But see, I knew some things that most people didn't know. Pastor Billy didn't know this. He called out cartilage in a knee, and this gentleman came up, and his name's Steve, and he came up, but I'm holding up right now a picture of a car accident that Steve was in. He was told he'd never walk again, be in a wheelchair, never work again. So it's already a miracle when he gets to this miracle service, and he's coming from Peterborough and traveling to Toronto to believe God, and he does believe God. Well, he's in that service, but what other people didn't know that I knew is that in this accident, he also lost his eyesight. So rarely does Pastor Billy, he might get people to walk a bit, but he doesn't just tell people to run. So when Steve comes up, and you're going to see it in a second, I know he's telling Steve to start running, and he's telling him to start running around the building, but I know Steve can't see. He has to have someone drive him wherever he goes. He can only see out of certain sides of his eyes. When I'm with him and he's looking at his phone, he has to look at a certain way or have it magnified. So Pastor Billy says, run. Well, there's people, if you remember, on the floor in those meetings, and I'm looking at Steve as he begins to run, and I'm thinking, what's going to happen? And he comes, and just like a little deer, he just jumps over, and he's running, and other people started running that night, and miracles were happening. And I'm laughing, because I'm not just paying attention to the healing in his body, which you're going to hear about. I'm saying, Lord, this is amazing. And later I said to him, Steve, how did you do that? Pastor Billy told you to run. He didn't know you couldn't see. And he said, well, I would just start running. And he said, out of just the corner of my eye, I'd see something. And when I did, I just kind of jump up over it. So you're going to see that in just a minute, because normally what we've been doing is talking a little bit before the miracle and then a little bit afterwards, talking and celebrating the miracle. Today, I'm just going to talk a little bit before, because this is a lesson in life. And we're going to keep going. We're not going to stop. We've had some hindrances, had some delays. We're going to keep going. We may not see everything clearly, but we're going to see just what we need to see to get through the problem. And you're going to do the same thing. And you're going to hear about Steve, who's had massive improvements. We're believing for his eyesight to come back, but he's had massive improvements in his life. But he, to me, is an illustration. Watch this great video and this beautiful testimony of miracles on his body. A guy that's not supposed to walk, runs a big business, not supposed to work. Aren't you glad we serve a risen Savior? Watch and enjoy this video. And remember, no matter whether you can see or not, just keep jumping. Come on, just keep jumping. Just keep going. Just keep going. Come on, Steve.
Cartilage in the knee. How long?
6 years.
6 years. Where do you hurt that? Where do you hurt?
I have a major car accident, and I severed the tendons. I lost 75% of my knee.
You lost 75% over a severed tendon.
Yeah.
In a car accident.
Yeah, and then I busted my left femur right in half.
And your left femur? And when did that happen?
6 years ago, it was all in one car accident.
And you hurt when you walk?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
Like you tonight when you came in, you hurt the whole way here.
Yeah.
Ah, the Holy Ghost on this way.
All right.
Somebody give God a shout. Come on. Sing it. Hallelujah. He's recreating the cartilage and the very bone and the very meniscus. That's his power on you. Wow. Hallelujah. Let's check. Check it. What? Come on, go. Oh my God. What?
I can run again.
Wow. When you go home tonight, you open up the door and you say, and you run to your wife. You should have been there. Of all nights for you to miss this. And it'll get stronger. Yes. He's growing new cartilage. Your biggest challenge won't be believing it here. It's going to be believing it on the way home and when you wake up tomorrow morning. We got one more guy here? Yes, sir. I remember you were running around the room.
So a number of years ago, I had a major car accident and I lost 75% of my knee and I split my shin bone down the center.
Wow.
And I shattered my right ankle and I busted my left femur in half. And I had major head trauma where I lost a lot of my sight.
Oh, my.
And
I didn't know it was that bad.
last
I'd
month,
run too around the room if I had.
last month, I been here a number of weeks, but in months, and I've talked so much about the faith, but I acted on it that night.
You put the switch up.
And
Turn the switch on.
you called out about knee cartilage, and I came right up, and it just it's been amazing. Not only am I healed, but my kids have their dad back.
Amazing. I mean, that's almost touching. That you're happy for the healing, but what really the kids got their dad back. What a role model. They saw you before, they saw you after.